building condos everywhere. Condos, condos, up into the air. Condos, 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 they're everywhere.
No disrespect, it's all love. But a motherfucker just feel real good
Let's
about it's still one love.
Welcome to the third episode of Closing Quotes. Today we have an essay by Amitav Ghosh, and it's portions from his piece, The Great Derangement. Alright. Climate change poses a powerful challenge to what is perhaps the single most important political conception of the modern era, the idea of freedom, which is central not only to contemporary politics but also to the humanities, arts, and literature. Since the Enlightenment, as Dipesh Chakrabarty has pointed out, philosophers of freedom were mainly and understandably concerned with how humans would escape the injustice, oppression, inequality, or even uniformity foisted on them by other humans or human-made systems. Now that the stirrings of the earth has forced us to recognize that we have never been free of non-human constraints, how are we to rethink those conceptions of history and agency? The same question could be posed with equal force in relation to art and literature, particularly in regard to the 20th century, where there was a radical turn away from the non-human to the human, from the figurative toward the abstract. This meant that the abstract and the formal gained ascendancy over the figurative and the iconographic. It also meant that many traditions, including those that accorded the non-human special salience, were jettisoned. Here, as elsewhere, freedom came to be seen as a way of transcending the constraints of material life, of exploring new regions of the human mind, spirit, emotion, consciousness, interiority. Freedom became a quantity that resided entirely in the minds, bodies, and desires of human beings. Could it be, then, that the same process that inaugurated the rising death spiral of carbon emissions also ensured, in an uncannily clever gesture of self-protection, that the artists, writers, and poets of that era would go racing off in the directions that actually blinded them to exactly what they thought they were seeing, that is to say, what lay in avant, which is the opposite of avant-garde. What was to come? And if this were so, would it not be a damning indictment of a vision in which the arts are seen to be moving forever forward in a dimension of irreversible time by means of innovation and the free pursuit of imagination? Side note, in the words of Blondie. So basically, the focusing on abstract was effectively an escape to go internal instead of reflect external on the injustices being the injustices happening around the world because of climate change, etc., etc. Alright, I'm losing my place. Anyway, here we go again. The struggle for action will no doubt be difficult and hard-fought, and no matter what it achieves, it is already too late to avoid some serious disruptions of the global climate. But I would like to believe that out of this struggle will be born a generation that will be able to look upon the world with clearer eyes than those that preceded it, that they will be able to transcend the isolation in which humanity was entrapped in the time of its derangement, and that they will rediscover their kinship with other beings, and that this vision, at once new and ancient, will find expression in a transformed and renewed art and literature. Alright, so this is a really interesting piece. It is it's a bit of a devil's advocate. I, as an artist and who surround myself with fine artists, abstract artists mostly, do not particularly agree with it. I just think that it's a very, very powerful statement and something worth thinking over. So I hope that you guys enjoyed and that you thought it over and that you liked all my outfits from my vacation in Mexico. Alright, bye.